Now from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with your news from around the Columbia Basin for Monday, November 26th. Tonight we report on a plan that dictates the future of Grant County's shorelines and hear about a California woman who was arrested at a Moses Lake bank. We'll learn about a series of wrecks near Moses Lake on I-90 over the weekend that happened within minutes and miles of each other, and bring you some news from around the greater Northwest area. We also have a full serving of sports for you with highlights from the Apple Cup, Seahawks football, and more. Our spotlight story tonight highlights how people are using social media to help local economies across the U.S. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story tonight, the county is asking for public input on a plan that oversees development of shorelines. The state is requiring local governments to update their shoreline master programs. The document regulates an area 200 feet within the high water mark of any body of water within the county's boundaries. Over the past year, county planners have worked through the update process with representatives of Coulee City, Electric City, Grand Coulee, Marlin, Soap Lake, and Wilson Creek. They've now come up with a draft SMP, which will be reviewed before adoption by the State Department of Ecology. A public meeting on the draft plan is being held Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the Commissioner's hearing room at the Ephrata Courthouse. The plan can be found at co.grant.wa.us. Icy conditions on Interstate 90 apparently contributed to 3 wrecks near Moses Lake over the weekend. The first wreck happened on Saturday morning about 8 miles west of the city. 42-year-old Joseph Setti of Spokane Valley reportedly lost control of a section of ice and rolled his van about 50 feet off the freeway. Setti was transported to Samaritan Hospital for treatment. A few minutes later, 27-year-old Ashley Mesa of Chattaroy reportedly rolled her Dodge Durango a few miles west of the first crash site. She and her passenger, a 34-year-old Chattaroy man, were transported to Samaritan Hospital with injuries. A 1-year-old boy, 2-year-old girl, and a 3-year-old girl, all from Chattaroy, were reportedly uninjured in the crash. Then on Sunday, 26-year-old Everett resident Christopher Bates reportedly lost control on ice and rolled his Ford pickup on eastbound I-90 near Moses Lake. He too was transported to Samaritan Hospital with injuries. The Soap Lake City Council last week heard an update on the city's mineral water system, which is finally being restored after a break over the summer. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
Soap Lake City officials have flipped the switch on a water system linking local businesses and some residents with Mineral Lake water.
The system, as of this moment, is on for testing purposes only.
Several businesses reliant on the water to attract tourists have been hurt since the underground pipe broke in August. The State Department of Health is allowing the system to be turned on as long as a backflow preventer is installed, along with a control valve near the reservoir. Gravel told council members last week that city crews have capped the line to allow water to flow to businesses east of the break, but not homes to the west. At least one resident has complained.
Now, I've told this one person that the city does not have any immediate plans to turn on the entire system, nor does it have the money to do it. But I didn't say we would never turn it on.
We're not abandoning the system.
We're not abandoning the system. We're just putting a Band-Aid on to get our businesses that are the economic backbone of the community operating again.
A piece of the 4-inch pipe was on display outside the council chambers, showing the extreme amount of mineral sediment in the system. The sludge makes future upkeep of the system challenging, as there's no safe way to flush it out without possibly damaging the brittle pipes. The council agreed increases to hookup fees and user rates are necessary in order to keep the system viable and recover the nearly $10,000 spent to repair the line. Mineral water users have in the past paid a connection fee of $250. Residential users paid just over $30 a month, while commercial connections ran anywhere from $60 to $100, depending on the number of taps. The council decided to form a committee and examine a new rate structure, chaired by Councilwoman Candace Lair. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Moses Lake's Council is holding a public hearing on the city's comprehensive plan tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the Moses Lake Civic Center. The city has been reviewing proposed amendments to the plan, which guides development in Moses Lake and the city's urban growth area. For a look at the draft plan, you can visit cityofml.com. The State Department of Corrections is looking for more people with arrest warrants. Each of the people you see here have warrants for their arrest and are wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these individuals, the DOC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest forecast from our iFIBER 1 Weather Center.